Want to go deeper with lobbing Scorchers? You know, scratch under the surface, get down even dirtier than we already get? Become a YouTube member. Sometimes things just get a little too spicy, a little too weird, and a little too loose for the general public. And you know, the people to see that are YouTube members. We're talking about exclusive bonus videos, the podcast after show, exclusive written content, and little bits and pieces of information before the unwashed masses know about it. As a member, you not only get access to all of this amazing content, you get a badge next to your name and a slew of amazing emotes to use, not only in our live stream chat, but also in our comments section. And yes, we do have an emote for Jesus Ferreira, Go Snack, and Paul Rothrock. This is the best way to help keep us independent and keep us building out this crazy YouTube brand that we call Lobbing Scorchers. Hit the join button down below or hit the link in the top of our description if you're on mobile to join the ranks and become a Lobbing Scorchers YouTube member.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to your post-match live for Matchday 33. The Seattle Sounders just gave up an 87th minute equalizer to settle for a 2-2 draw against the LA Galaxy, which is needless to say, not an ideal result. I'll be running the ship solo tonight. No Noah. So running a little double duty. Bear with me, but we're going to be reacting to it. I'll be taking some calls, and we're going to be breaking down Seattle's return to league play, which Dorath smashed the like button but did not like the game. That's a good reminder, though. Everyone, please smash the like button irrespective of how you felt about the result of the game. We're waiting for the Brian Schmetzer presser to queue up, and I'll give my initial takes while we wait for that, which is right now. What timing that was. Going to be pulling that up. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to... This is going to take me a second. I meant to open it in the browser, and then I didn't. Oh boy, I don't know if I can do this. Why won't it let me do it in the browser? Okay, I got it. Sorry, chat. All right, I'm waiting to be let in to the presser, and then I'll have that for you guys. A bit of a crisis of technology, but they should be letting me in just a minute. I will keep checking. In the meantime, I will say that was one of the most frustrating games of the season, without a doubt. And I think that was the case even before the equalizer. I think the question coming into this game was always going to be a question of, you know, retaining the level, retaining the intensity. You just had this incredible, emotional, victorious Leagues Cup run. And going back to league play and maintaining that, we saw in 2022 that could be a difficult task. And really, at the start of the game, I did think that they were doing a good job of that. Jesus Ferreira got a goal, so that was a positive. Bringing up the presser right now. This should work. There it is. Sorry about the tech, guys. That took me a second to figure out. We'll have Schmetz for you when he comes in the room. What was I saying? It was a question of retaining intensity, maintaining the level. And I thought the first half, the start of the game, they were doing okay at that. But really, I don't know about you guys, but I thought Seattle was not good in possession really all game. And the first half was kind of no exception, even though they had the 2-goal lead. They've been so sharp in possession since the Club World Cup. That's been one of the hallmarks of the team. And tonight, they were not able to retain that level.
That's one too. Okay, there. Level's good. Okay, we're gonna get started quick here. About 60
all right,
seconds
looks like they're
Thank
starting
you.
this. Sorry if you guys are hearing my Slack notifications. Like I said, I'm doing double duty, so this might be this might be a tough show. That's why I'm going to be needing you guys to call in and give your takes when that time comes. But I'm going to do my best. It's not easy to run these solo, so bear with me. But we're ripping the post game live. We rip them no matter what happens in the game, no matter the result. Okay, thank you, Dorath. I'm hearing it, and it's really pissing me off. While we wait, you can go ahead, drop your questions, observations, agendas, grievances in the chat.
All right, we're gonna get started here in the
right
room
there.
as always. If you're on Zoom and have a question, please go ahead and hit that raised hand function button for us so we can get to your question as soon as possible. We'll begin with Maz in the front row. Mike is coming around to you.
Hey there, Brian. I'll just start with just towards the end there. Is there frustration, inability for someone to get a foot on that ball that's pinging around on your defensive end there?
You want to talk about the second goal?
Second goal. Sorry,
Okay.
Brian. There.
Great way to start. Great way to start, Maz. Because, look, I can shoulder a lot of the blame for this because the set piece goal, the set pieces that they started, obviously the team wasn't prepared. And so that's on me. That goal came from a throw-in. And our setup on that throw-in, anybody can see it, was all wrong. We had Obed on the wrong side of the ball, Albert on the wrong side of the ball, center forward on the wrong side of the ball, Jesus Ferreira on the wrong side of the ball. Christian goes up and challenges. There's a gaping hole on top of the box. Ymar's got to step out. Now he's out of position. Nobody wins the duels in there. And then the sequence of, the ball bouncing around the box. Then you can start to pick that apart. But the mistake happened way up here or out by the touchline. And I don't know who could have kept the ball in or not or whatever. I don't know. I didn't see that far in advance. But that's a terrible goal. That is an absolute terrible, terrible, terrible goal to give up. So that won't happen again. And then since we're on the goals, we'll just go to the first one. Was it a foul? Was it not a foul? Some of the fans were upset about the refereeing. The referees don't lose games. They had a trick play. It was obviously a trick play. And, our guys' ability to, understand and have vision in their defending and understand where the dangerous spaces are, where their players are. How about this? Just simple body language cues. When Paul Rothrock sprints to the ball, the guy wasn't ready to shoot. He doesn't need to do that, and they pass it right back to Paintsel. And then Kalani's tucked inside. Somebody comes out there. Kalani has no idea the guy's on the left. And then Steph's got to cover the near post, but there's nobody down on the goal, and it's life or death in the penalty box. Somebody's got to win that header. And they put us under pressure from some of their corner kicks. So we will be prepared for the remainder of the year, because I understand the importance of set pieces, and throw-ins are actually a set piece, and we'll make sure we're better.
All right, Jada, over to you.
Brian, kind of going a little bit more on that, obviously you guys had a layoff here, but it seems like some of the frustration in your voice might be just from basic defensive errors that the team shouldn't have made. Or
no, it's a team sport, Jada. We could have had 3 goals, 4 goals in the first half. It's the same thing. Look, the attacking guys didn't, they weren't immune from some of my words after the game. I mean, they have to make plays. That's their job. Danny Masowski has 16 goals for this club. Could have had 18. Could have tied. Is it 18? Is it
19?
19? Okay. Jesus has 5 goals, 10 assists. That's great. People were, talking about him at the beginning of the year. He's contributed. He's done a great job. But, I need him to do more. Games like this, he's got to do more.
Tim.
Coach, it seemed like the Galaxy were really compressing the field around the midfield line, making it tough to play through the middle of the field.
What part of the game? First half, second half?
Particularly in the first half, but
Okay.
it seemed like some of the changes in the second half addressed that, finding pockets to play in. How did you adjust to find better footing?
Well, we just needed to play a little bit better. I don't think we played up to our level. There's some part of me that wants to give them a little bit of leeway, because it was an emotional victory. They're on a high. The first game back's always going to be tricky. This was a trap game from the beginning, but I'm not going to sit there and let them get away with some of the sloppy touches, some of the mistakes that we made, just not to build our possession. I don't know what the possession stats were in the first half, but I know LA had the ball way more than we did. Okay, and then we started chasing, then they get tired, and their legs get heavy, and their minds get tired. So that was a cycle we were trying to break in the second half. The tweaks were just to kind of figure out how to and when to get Obed higher up the field, because him and Christian have to play as two pivots first, and then we rotate them up. And then I didn't wait too long because Reed was on a yellow and stuff like that. So we changed the game, brought Albert on, and at that point the game went in our favor. But if we're talking about the subs, subs are going to go out there to change games, but they fell into the trap of, we were all over them in the second half. Guys were trying to score the third goal, which I appreciate. Nothing wrong with that. But we're winning. We didn't have to score 3. We could have kept it at 2. We could have passed them to death, and then the gaps would have been bigger, and then the third goal might have been a little easier.
All right, Nico Antune, I see your hand raised on Zoom. We'll go to yours next and then continue on this side of the room. Nico, go ahead, please. Nico, you have to bring yourself off mute or I'm moving on.
Sorry. Got it.
Go.
Brian, a couple good saves from Stephen Fry and a goal from Jesus Ferreira. Wanted to get your thoughts on their performance today, and if you could also comment on Reed Baker-Whiting.
Steph was fine. Like I said, I pulled Reed because he was on a yellow. Jesus, again, I talked about it already, 5 goals, 10 assists. He was good. Inserting Albert, getting 2 guys that can possess the ball on the field. That was our intent, to try and close out the game, but it just didn't happen.
All right, we'll continue down this side. Do you still have one, Diego?
Buenas noches. Dejando de lado el partido de hoy, que me parece es un buen resultado, se han escuchado algunas voces respecto a que debido a la gran campaña que ha hecho en la Leagues Cup y que está haciendo actualmente en esta temporada, que podría ser quizás el futuro técnico de la selección nacional de Estados Unidos. ¿Ha pensado en eso y de ser así, aceptaría la propuesta?
Aside from today's game, that I think it was still a good result, there are rumors about, due to the good Leagues Cup campaign and the current MLS campaign as well, that there could be an offer for you to take on the national team. And if that would happen, would you take it?
There's no chance that they would take me as a national team coach. Flattered that you asked the question, but it's not realistic. It's not realistic. So, Potagino is going to do a great job. I have all the confidence in the world that the United States are going to get their team together. They're the host country, one of the host countries, and the players that he selects are all going to play for the badge. We're going to have a very good World Cup. It will be with Potagino and his staff.
No hay ningún tipo de posibilidad. Me halaga que hagas una referencia a eso, sin embargo no es realista, no es algo que vaya a pasar. Y tengo toda la confianza en el actual entrenador y en el equipo que va a dar todo por el escudo nacional y que van a jugar para ganar. Tengo toda la confianza en Portochino y sé que él lo va a hacer perfectamente bien.
I do hope Christian's part of that.
Y estoy seguro que Christian va a ser parte de eso. O espero que Christian sea parte de eso.
Other questions over here? Yeah, George.
So, Coach, looking forward to the game against Miami, are you thinking of rotating the team? And it seems like in the last few games, players from Mexico and Miami were kind of targeting Obed, if you saw that as well, or if you're trying to prevent that in some way, although it's not really
I'm
preventable.
not so sure Obed is being targeted. I think the frustrations that built in the Miami game were because, Miami, they're a proud team. Those players have played at the highest levels. And when a young player comes and gives them some challenges, sometimes that gets frustrating. I don't think they're targeting them at all. And as far as rotation is concerned, things have changed. We needed those 3 points. So we'll see the best team out there for Miami and Austin. Those are going to be 2 challenging road games.
All right, we'll swing back over here. Jada, I think you got to follow up. Maza, see you. We have time for a few more. We'll start with Jada.
Brian, does that mean the needing points and the things changing, does that mean also in goal? Like, does that mean that Andrew would get a chance on Tuesday then, or?
I'm not going to give away my lineup, Jada. Steph has deserved the chance to, come back in goal and play some games. And I'm not putting the blame on Steph for the 2 goals. So it's healthy competition between Steph and Andrew. We'll see how long that goes. Or if there's no competition, then I'll make the announcement that Steph will continue for the rest of the year and Andrew will be ready in case something bad happens. But it's way too early for that.
And then as far as you were able to get Jordan onto the field, I know it was very limited minutes. I know he had an attempt, but how did you feel? Or
It was fine. I loved it that the crowd acknowledged both him and Albert come back on the field. I think we created some good moments. Look, I'm kind of in a bad mood. But look, if Georgie scores the bicycle kick, everybody's going to talk about, oh, what a great sub it was. But then Georgie, a little more composure, him and Nuhu their issues, but overall, this was, just the 2 goals we gave away and then not finishing our chances. I mean, Jordan's header was good, but he was a little far out. But, I'm happy to have all those guys back and happy to be able to look down the bench and bring quality players on.
Awesome.
Brian, not to continue keeping your bad mood, but you did have Obed in the second half. Obed was pushed up. What was missing in you being able to sustain possession? Because Albert was up front and his
Decision making. The guys were, again, the game got a little easy for them in the second half. And, sometimes they were trying to do too much, or, every possession at 2-1, when you're a goal up, every possession should be 20, 30 passes long. Wear them out. Gaps are going to get bigger. Come on the left side. If it's not on, bring it back out. Go to the right side. Overload the right side. If it's not on, bring it back through Ymar, pivot out to the other side. When you do that 2 or 3 times, their defenders will get heavy legs and the gaps are going to get bigger.
All right, let's leave it there. Thanks all. Locker room's open.
Everybody.
All right. There you have it from Schmetz. That's about as pissed as you're going to see Schmetz. Honestly, that breakdown that he gave on the entire comedy of errors that led to that equalizer, that was fire. I couldn't have explained that any better. Someone in chat was asking what happened. I mean, just go back and watch that part of the Schmetz presser. He literally, that was point by point. It was a point by point recollection. It really was. I think he used the word terrible 3 or 4 times to describe that concession. It's such a bad goal to concede for all the reasons that he outlined, both in terms of what happened on the play, but then also at the point in the game where it was to give it up. It can't happen. And the reason he's so pissed is because it's the type of points that you can't drop when you're dogfighting for home field advantage in the playoffs, which realistically, if you want to make it to MLS Cup, that's the first step of doing so, is making sure you got your initial games at home. They just made that way harder on themselves by dropping 2 points that they are 3 minutes plus stoppage from taking. So not ideal. And it really was not the return from Leagues Cup that you wanted to see. I guess it doesn't. We've been talking about the hangover potential, right? And I think that did come into play in this game. How kind of just not sharp they looked in possession. Felt like the Galaxy had the ball for most of the night. And in the first half, Seattle did a good job of limiting them to kind of more possession without purpose. They didn't have like all that many good chances. They were more half chances. But the goal that they conceded, I thought it was a soft call to give away the free kick. I didn't like that call, but going into halftime at 2-1 felt merited to me based on how the game went. And frankly, 2-2, I don't know if you guys disagree, but I feel like that felt pretty much fair for how the game went. So all around, not great. I think everyone's got a sour taste in their mouth from that one. I'm going to drop the call link in chat right now. And if you guys want to hop on, give some takes. Honestly, it would really help me out because, as I said, running the show solo while doing double duty. So if no one calls in, it's going to be pretty haphazard. I'm just going to tell you guys that. So there's the link right there. If anyone wants to come cope, please, by all means. Card on RBW. I didn't like that call either. Having him and Jackson Reagan on yellows for the whole game. I mean, God knows. We know how that can go. So proud of everyone for not getting sent off. That's a positive. I think there were a couple positives. Jesus Ferreira scoring. That's a positive for Noah because he doesn't have to get a tattoo. I don't know how to pin it, Hunch. I literally don't know how to do that. I will keep sending it in. I need to learn how to do that. But the link is in chat right there. If anyone wants to hop on. Another reason that that's really not a good result is you got to go to Miami for a game on Tuesday. That's not a game that is going to be easy to win by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. You got a bunch of angry 43-year-old men who are out for vengeance, and they're going to be playing in Florida, their natural habitat. Okay. So that was never going to be an easy game. That's why you needed to win this game. We got Tribe in the house, and he was already cooking in chat. So I'm looking forward to see what he has to say. Tribe, welcome in, man. You almost got an insane Georgie bicycle kick, but it wasn't to be, and an 87th minute equalizer for a 2-2 draw. Cook, the floor is yours, man. How are you doing?
It's the same shit that I've been saying ever since the season started. We're not clinical in one-on-one situations. Rothrock should have scored one. It should have been two for Musovski. And if those go in, it's easy. It's an easy game. There's no momentum for the Galaxy, even if they have a goal. And we just shoot ourselves in the foot when the time is the absolute time to score and the easiest time to score. We just can't do it. We make things difficult on ourselves defensively. We don't drop back when we need to in the right way. We leave open spaces for the Galaxy to run into, and that's what happens. It's just really, really poor. And it's an absolute disgraceful game to watch. And it's the fucking team that's going to win the wooden spoon. And I'm really mad about that as well.
I mean, more than that, you know, like it's the team that you literally just beat on the road twice by a combined score of 6-0. So there is no like question as to the level of the teams compared to one another. It's just a matter if the better team can execute and not have ridiculous errors like there was on that equalizer. And so I think that for me, that's like what makes it even more frustrating.
We're home as well, which
exactly. You just did it twice on the road.
7. I thought we would get 7. I'm not even gonna lie. I swear I thought it would be 7-0 because defensively the Galaxy are the worst team in the league by fucking far. We have Rusnok back. We have Jordan Morris returning, and I thought he would maybe get a little bit more time than he did. I thought Rusnok might have started, but that's all right. We have all of these players coming back. We have Georgie Manungu coming on. We have Rothrock, who's in immaculate form, and we only get 2 goals. You saw the game. We should have had 5 or 6.
Yeah,
but we just can't fucking finish our opportunities. And we make the worst passes at the worst times as well. And that's another issue. It's just something this team has to work on before playoffs. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried if we're going to be facing teams like one-off games, these teams might be able to beat us just like the Galaxy did because we're just terrible when we need to be good, you know?
Well, and I think the playoffs a lot are probably going to come down to home field advantage. Like we saw that last year, and LAFC won tonight. They are now ahead of Seattle.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I
spot.
saw that.
So Seattle now drops to 5th. I mean, it was going to be a dogfight no matter what. So like whether they ended tonight in 4th or now in 5th, it's whatever. But like those are the type of points that if you miss out on home field advantage, you're going to look back on that. I mean, they finished top 4 last year, but they had to travel for the conference final. And I think that's a game they would have been a lot more likely to win if they had it at home. So if they miss on home field advantage this year and finish outside the top 4, a game like this, and frankly, it's a lot of games this year. I mean, you could go back to the season opener against Charlotte. There's just been too many it's been too many drop points because of like errors like that. And then we all know about the red cards. But anyway, Tribe, keep cooking. Chat, I dropped the link in there if anyone else wants to queue in.
One last thing before I do have to go, but one last thing before I feel like Andrew Thomas needs to start. Fry, I'm not going to lie, it looked a little bit shaky. He was parrying some balls that he should have probably been able to catch. You can just see he doesn't look as comfortable as he was before the concussion he got. He doesn't seem, I don't know, he just doesn't seem to react quite as quick. I'm not saying he did bad tonight at all. I'm just saying from what I've seen before and what I've seen now, because I'm a goalkeeper myself, that's the biggest position, in my opinion, and the position I keep track of most. He doesn't seem to feel as comfortable in his body as he did before. And I feel like it might be time that Andrew Thomas is our designated starter.
That is, I mean, it was already a storyline and a talking point coming into this game. And I mean, I didn't think it was like howlers on Fry's part tonight, but I mean,
No.
on that first goal, I think people were saying, you know, he could have come off his line, right, to get that out of there, stuff like that. So
Exactly.
that is going to keep getting talked about. All right, Tribe, I'll let you go because we got Nat in the queue. Otherwise, I wasn't going to let you go. But thanks for calling in as always, buddy.
Hey,
And
great vlog, by the way. That fucking vlog was amazing.
Thank
Anyway,
you. You're in the
much
credits,
love.
so yeah.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Hey,
You're the
have a
man,
great
Tribe.
one, all right?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Have a good one. All right, we got Nat up next. Gonna bring him to the stage.
Hello.
Nat, what's up? The floor is yours. 2-2 draw versus the LA Galaxy. 87th minute equalizer. Relatively unceremonious return to league play. What'd you think? How are you feeling?
Yeah, just a frustrating game. I mean, we got to finish our chances. Two big saves from their keeper in the first half. One was Rothrock, one was Musovski, and both of those, like, we scored those, completely different game. But just, I mean, like, it felt like they were gonna, like, we got to just finish chances and put the game away because it felt like they were gonna get another chance, and that's what happened.
Exactly.
But like, I gotta defend my man Fry here and the people in the comments who are saying that Thomas should be starting after this performance. Like, this isn't like I'm totally with Schmetzer, and like, this is Fry with what he's done for the team. Like, he is the starter this year. Like, and like, he should be starting. You can't blame him for, and Leagues Cup was Thomas's tournament. Like, that's understandable. And he got those games, but you can't bench Fry for this game. Like, neither of these goals were on him.
I
Like,
don't think
thought he
so
was
either.
good.
I
Yeah.
mean, I guess I can see what people are saying on the first one, but for me, the issue on these concessions was not goalkeeping. I mean, the first one is you give away a dangerous set piece, and it just kind of felt like that's one of those ones where as soon as it gets awarded, I'm like, they're gonna score off that. And then
But he was out of it.
the
And
second one,
he was out to the side, so he
the-
needs help from the defense there.
The second one was just, I mean, the whole defense looked like the Bad News Bears out there. That was just not good. So,
and there was a play right before this play that they scored on that was pretty similar, where they got a guy wide open on the left side of the box, and both times it was like, where is Alex Rodon? And Alex Rodon was amazing in the final, and he was good in this game at moving forward, but he did seem a little slow in getting back today. And in the first half, Kossa-Rienzi was helping with that. But then in the second half, like, as Schmetzer was saying, like, everyone was looking for that third goal and failing to get back when it was still just a 1-goal game. But
yeah,
I mean, it's so frustrating with how annoying the Galaxy fans were being, because it's like, your team is still dead in the water. Like,
I mean, honestly, let them revel in it. They've endured the worst season imaginable. So, and they also, I mean, they got worked by Seattle at home twice before this. So if they want to revel, like, I do not care. Like, it's they're about to wooden spoon. Let's be serious. I mean, that makes it a worse result for Seattle, frankly. It's like,
yeah. I mean, it would have been with just all the history that we have with them, like, it would have been satisfying to knock them out of the playoffs.
And it would have, I was all ready to have the talking point of like, all right, this officially settles the score from the playoffs last year. Seattle beats you 3 straight times, including one to knock you out of a tournament, and twice in your own building, and then again at home. The score is settled. And I mean, I still think it's pretty much settled, knocking them out of Leagues Cup and then going on to win it. But it didn't give me that talking point.
I mean, we could see them we could see them next year in CONCACAF Champions Cup, and we can knock
True.
them out of that. That would be great.
That would be fire.
Which
It's really
honestly
funny
could
that they
happen.
qualified for that. It could.
Yeah.
What else were you thinking about with this game, Nat? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
My other thoughts. So I already thought that Ozaze was going to start this game based on what Schmetzer was saying. It seemed like he was going to start the exact same lineup as the final, except for Fry, because I felt like Fry was coming in no matter what. But everyone else I thought was just going to get run back. And then obviously Pedro ended up. The news of him being injured comes out. But I love Ozaze, so I'll be interested to see what his minutes look like, because it feels like he is like, how do you not play Musovski, and then how do you not play Morris? So like, it will be interesting to see how much he gets used down the stretch, or if he plays more minutes in this Miami game with the short turnaround. Because obviously we know what he can do against Miami. So I'm excited. So I hope he gets more minutes.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do at the 9, because you got 3 guys that all need minutes. I mean, Moose had a really good first half. He had a goal and an assist. Should have had Rothrock had a breakaway. Moose had another breakaway. This is really a game where you should have had at least 3 in this game. Soccer's a game where sometimes you can generate a lot of really good chances and only get 1 to 2 goals out of it. So that does happen sometimes, but this game was really one where I haven't seen the XG yet, but the chance generation looked really good to me. So
I don't know what is the like big chances missed in this game. Was it because it feels like our stats for that should be crazy, because like there were lots of chances where we could have put the game away. And I mean,
keep cooking that. I gotta type something, so cook for a sec here.
I want to say, when I saw the referee for today as Rosendo Mendoza, I was not happy. I go back to the game in 2023, in the first time we had the best of 3 series. He was the referee for the second game in Dallas, in which we ended up losing that game. But when the score was still tied, or maybe they were winning by 1 in that, or I think it would have changed the game. There was a play where Jesus Ferreira fully pulls the jersey of Raul Roy Diaz, like it's completely outstretched in the box, and it was not called. It was not reviewed, and that that is it. This freeze frame, I still do not understand that this is a penalty, but I feel like that sums up Rosendo Mendoza. The consistency with his calls every time that he's in the center of a game is just bonkers. Like, this guy is not good. And I mean, like, we should have finished chances, but like, he was not consistent at all in this game. And like some of the yellow card, like there was that play where early in the first half, Rothrock ran into the, there's that play where someone ran into the box, and then Rothrock didn't get called for a foul, and then like their guy hit the deck later, and he had originally called a throw-in, but then he gave a yellow card to, I think that was Reed's.
It was that was the RBW yellow that people are pissed about.
Yeah, and so I'm on the opposite side from that, so I have no idea what that was, and I think I thought at first he signaled a throw-in for that, so I was very confused about that. So just not impressed with Rosendo.
I didn't like the game he was calling either, but I only care about that much if I feel like it actually affected the result, and I don't think it did. I mean,
there wasn't a penalty.
No one to blame but themselves.
No penalty shouts or anything. I will say that. I do think it's funny moving forward to the Miami game. I think it's very funny that I mean, seeing this result in Miami, that they lost 3-0 again, makes me feel better about this game. Like,
That is true.
if we play well, we should go and beat this team. Like this, we are faster than this team. This team is old and they are slow. And the only way, and like, we can go into their house and beat them. And if we do that in 3 days, like, everyone will forget about this game.
That is a good point. And they are like, we should talk about that because they are spiraling. It seems like. I mean,
Yeah.
they got a red card tonight. They
Yeah.
got destroyed by
Aviles.
3-0.
Aviles got
So
two
Aviles,
yellow cards.
One of the crash out crybabies got
Yes.
Got sent off, and
Should have been
also-
already suspended for this game, and now he is. And
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh, MLS
Exactly.
is not going to suspend me. I'll just do it. I'll just do it myself."
Sweet justice.
Yeah.
Another one of the crash out crybabies will be suspended after all. And also, did you see Messi get a Panenka saved?
Yes,
That
that was when that
No notes.
was when it was 0-0.
Yeah.
That would have made it 1-0. 2 minutes later, Charlotte made it 1-0, and then the other guy scored
He
I
got
think it was
scored
a
on
hat trick.
immediately after that happened. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. I think you're right. Like everything is lining up for that Miami game for a win to be attainable.
Yeah.
It's even after how the final went.
They just allow.
Well,
I mean, even when they play in Miami, they allow teams so much space. Like like recently with watching when they played Orlando and they played Vancouver and they played Atlanta, all these games where like the entire talk of it is like, oh, Messi's going to show up for this big game, Inter Miami. They're at home, and whatever tournament it is, they're going to get it. They could get the job done. And for the majority of these games, there's just so much space for the opposition, and like they don't. If you just move the ball and you pass it around simply, then like there's nothing they can do because they don't have guys who will close you down, especially now that they've shipped off Kremaski. Now that he's gone, he was one of the only guys who ran for them.
I have no like worries that there'll be chances in that game. I feel confident enough that Seattle can get at least a couple goals. What I'm concerned about right now is like what we saw defensively tonight. Like, let's be honest, we've seen stuff like that a fair amount this season, and they've been so good about like not doing that stuff in Leagues Cup. They only conceded 2 goals in the whole damn tournament. But it feels like if they're not in like a high pressure knockout situation, this team is prone to leak goals, but also do it at just really inopportune times. Didn't it just feel like that equalizer was coming?
Yeah, no, it totally felt like it was coming.
It felt like, and went like to the point where when it got scored, I was like, yep. So,
and like the reason it didn't come sooner is because this team is just bad. And like Paintso right in front of me in the second half, and he was terrible. I think I got in his head because like just every pass.
You're heckling Joey Paints?
Every pass, he's washed. This season, he's just been so bad.
It's sad for Lobbing Scorchers because
kept losing the ball every play.
The fall of Joey Paints should be studied.
Yeah, and I was happy he didn't score that goal. That was the good thing about the second goal is that he didn't score it, because then I would have been mad. I was like, I wasn't heckling him enough. But also for the Miami game, Nuhu coming in. We finally get Nuhu on. I assume that Nuhu will start that Miami game.
I think
with the rotation. Like, I'd be surprised if Reed starts again. But I'm excited to see Nuhu do anything at Messi. If he goes in on.
We finally get that. That was what was so disappointing about him getting the red card in the semifinals, because it robbed us of that. And it worked out fine, but now we will actually get to see that. So I guess that's kind of fun. It's just, I think what you said is accurate. Like if they win that, like we're
who cares? Who cares about us not getting a home game, about us not getting home games through
If
the
that,
playoffs.
if that
I mean,
happens, then it's like you can just pretend that you won this game and then drew the Miami game, and then no one would care about that. So it puts a lot of they got to win this. They got to win this now, though. They got to win this.
Yeah, and every playoff game, like in the first round, we're guaranteed to get a home game, even if we don't get two. So we will see them at least once, probably. And then like we're still the Seattle freaking Sounders, like in the playoffs. Like no one wants to play us in knockout games specifically. Like we're still gonna be a hard team to beat. So like I'm still gonna
even if they have to travel, I think
still
that's
right now,
true.
yeah.
I think that's true, even if they don't get the home field advantage. But it's just like you're right there for the home field advantage. All you got to do to like maintain that pace is beat the wooden spooning LA Galaxy, who you just beat by a combined 6-0, like over 2 games, like in the last 2 weeks. So you're a lot better than them. And it's just it was a ridiculous way to see that to see those points get dropped. But all right, Nat, I got Kenny in the queue behind you, but keep cook a couple a take or two more.
Yeah, the vlog. I'll echo the last guy said. The vlog was great. Love that.
Oh, thank
Excellent
you.
work on
that.
that.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't watched it, go check it out.
More of those.
On our YouTube.
Yeah.
We'll keep making them.
I'll move on. Let's move forward for Tuesday and get the dub.
Let's go. All right, Nat. Thanks. Appreciate you as always. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care. All right, Kenny, bringing you on the stage right now. Got Tyler after that. Kenny, what's up, man? 2-2, 87th minute equalizer, unceremonious return to MLS play. Go ahead and cook.
I don't really care about this one. We're still Leagues Cup champions, man. It's not going to change
That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way.
It's not going to change nothing. This 1 point you got. You're still not making the playoffs, and we're still champions.
I think like it was.
They can enjoy Cancun. Enjoy Cancun.
It was a very frustrating match and result, but it shouldn't make everyone totally have the shine go away from how awesome Leagues Cup was. So I agree with that.
Yeah, like you said, some transitional problems, some set piece issues. I think some of their set plays were, and when they brought Yoshida up front, it seemed to confuse our defense a little. We were a little disorganized to close that out, but some good stuff in the first half.
Yeah,
but,
I thought the offense was pretty good in the game overall. Like,
all right, I appreciate you, Ari. I'm gonna get out. Thanks, though.
All right, thanks, Kenny. Catch you next time, man. All right, we got Tyler up next, and then no one in the queue after that. So if you guys want the show to keep going, I need people to queue in. So links in the chat right there. Bringing in Tyler right now. Tyler, looks like you're on the light rail.
NYC Subway.
NYC Subway. Sounders fan calling in from NYC. What's up, man? How are you feeling after a 2-2?
Straight from the BQ ECS banter meetup, which if you're in New York, come through. I feel apathetic. I think like this is about zooming out at this point. Like 5 or 6 games left. Honestly, my question to you is like, at this point, it seems like there needs to be a spark in the offense. When do you bring in Osaze not at the 90th minute? Like what? And I'm sorry if you talked about this earlier in the stream, but like where do you think about having a more potent offense going in hotter into the postseason?
I mean, it's like it's tough because like in this game you had to get Jordan some run, right? And you kind of hope that he offers that spark as you're chasing the third goal there. But then Osaze, who is, the most in form on the team right now, he comes in when it's like kind of too late for him to really make an impact. So I don't know how they're going to manage the minutes at the number 9 there. I mean, it was kind of cool seeing Jordan and Osaze together at the same time. But for me in general, like I feel like the offense was where it needed to be to win this game. Like they only got 2 goals, but they definitely played well enough they should have had 3 or 4 really. When I personally I'm more concerned about the defense, both just that last sequence was just really not good. And then again, like I said earlier, it's like it's been a pattern of these ill-timed concessions that they've dropped so many points off situations exactly like this year. Like, and if they don't get home field advantage, that's going to be why. It's not going to be because of the quality of the team. It's going to be because they gave up way too many soft late goals that cost them points that they really should have had.
Do you think that we lose this game if Peck is in?
I would say no, because Nuhu owns Gabriel Peck, but Nuhu didn't start this game, so maybe that could have made a difference for them. But I think overall, like you do have to credit them to an extent. Like, they played a lot better than they did in either of those first 2 games. They were a lot sharper in possession, and so there was an element of like they were playing like a team that was very intent on not getting waxed for a 3rd time in a row. So credit to them for that. But even with that taken into account, you still should win that game. And I don't think Gabriel Peck, it's not like he made a difference in either of the first 2 games. So yeah, I don't know.
I feel like we can't let our foot off of the gas at this point. Like, this is the point where we really need to put shit into hyperdrive. And if we can find ourselves on, I don't know, playing more on the balls of our feet versus on our heels, like, I think that this is the moment in the season where we absolutely need it. Am I happy with the season at this point? Sure. I think Leagues Cup was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And we'll see when it comes time to how the table shakes out. But at this point, like, I'm satisfied as a fan. But like, if we make a run, like, I think at this point, like, build a statue for Schmetzer if we can make a serious run and land a 2nd trophy at this point in the season. And yeah, I'm following the stream, but I got to get off of this stuff. So I'll talk to you.
No worries, Tyler. Thanks for tapping in, man. And that's awesome that you're Sounders fanning from NYC. We love that. Yeah, I mean, I think the debate as to whether Leagues Cup alone constitutes a successful season, even if Seattle doesn't win MLS Cup this year, that's a debate that'll be had when it comes. But like after a result like that, where you drop those points against the LA Galaxy in the manner that you did, I understand that it's probably not that's great cope, and we love cope around here. I'm definitely going to be coping with this through that exact reasoning. But right now, I understand that most people are not going to be on that page. That was a not ideal result, but I also think what Nat said is accurate in that. What was Nat talking about? I can't remember. Sorry, guys. Distracted. All right, locking back in. I'm going to drop the call link in one more time. Like I said, oh, whoops, ignore that one. I accidentally typed something in there. This is going to be the more accurate link. Only 28 likes. Get those numbers up. Yeah, everyone, please like the video. Please like the video. And sub to the channel if you haven't. All right. 1 second, guys. I gotta type some stuff. So I'm sorry. This is how it goes when I'm running these solo and doing double duty and I don't have a co-host. Like, it's just kind of I'm doing 2 things at the same time. So If anyone wants to tap in and help me out with that, got the link right there. But I'm gonna type some stuff and lock back in a second. Thomas Mueller had a hat trick for the Vancouver Whitecaps in a 6-0 win over the Philadelphia Union. So that's pretty notable. Not the Mueller hat trick is one thing, but Vancouver working Philly that bad is quite another. And as Nat and I were talking about, Inter Miami's coming off another 3-0 loss. That's 2 3-0 losses in a row for them. So I don't know. What do you think, Chad? Does that make that an easier game, or it's like the more times the Barca boys lose 3-0, does that motivate them even more? Do you feel better or worse about this Inter Miami game? I'll be honest. Part of the reason why this result is so unideal is because I really think that no matter what result Inter Miami took tonight, that was going to be a game that's going to be a hard game to take 3 points in, I think, purely because of any road trip in MLS where you're covering that much distance is going to be hard no matter what. It's pretty rare in MLS where you see a team go cross country and like totally wax their opposition. It's not like impossible to win the game. I'm not saying that. And I do think there's going to be chances for Seattle in that game. Inter Miami, it's not like they're that good defensively. But this defense, like they had it squeaky clean in Leagues Cup, Seattle's defense, that is. But during the regular season this year, I mean, this is kind of what I'm saying. Like, this is not the first time we've seen something like that. All the way back to the first game of the season against Charlotte FC, famously. I'll have to go back down the list, but I feel like that's happened like 4 or 5 times this year at this point, with a few red cards sprinkled in. Okay, two PKs for Mueller. All right, he's getting a little merchant reputation. He's getting a little merchant reputation because he got a PK gifted to him by VAR for his first MLS goal. Dropping the link in chat again. I swear I'm going to learn how to pin this. I don't know how. I'm always like, all right, I'm going to learn how to pin it, and then I don't, and then I'm in this situation where I can't pin it. Tonight's performance definitely felt like early season Sounders. Exactly. Or even 2024 Sounders. Hope this match acts as their wake-up call. If they want home field advantage, they better hope it's their wake-up call. Schmetzer, it sounds like Schmetzer laid into him a little bit after the game. He was very pissed about that goal, as he should be. As he should be. You can't give up that goal. It's just like if they come out and they get some crazy banger from 35 yards, all right, it's whatever. There's a comedy of like 6 errors on that play. It would have been funny if it didn't cost them the win. Like if that exact play happened and they had scored 3 or 4 goals and they still won the game, it would have been funny. We would be laughing about it right now. That's how ridiculous concession that was. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see if it's the wake up call, and this defense locks it in for the stretch run, because that was decidedly not locked in on that play. The first goal the first goal, like the foul that led to the free kick, I was pissed about it at the time. And like I said, I knew they were going to score off that as soon as that got awarded. But like for me, it's more about, I try to think of it in terms of what's deserved. You know, was 2-1 a fair score based on the balance of play, regardless of what I think of that foul call? And I think it was. Like, they kind of low-key, high-key deserved to concede a goal in that half. So it was an issue of the defense, but also one of my biggest observations was just like how much of a drop-off there were as far as their sharpness in possession compared to Leagues Cup, where they looked so sharp, razor sharp. Since Club World Cup, really, they've been fantastic in possession. There was a lot of bad giveaways tonight. There's a lot of the type of bad giveaways that they've been forcing other teams into, and that they forced the Galaxy into a lot over really all three of these games. I thought Seattle's press was good in the first half again, but the Galaxy counter-pressed to great effect. They won the ball in a lot of dangerous situations. KKR, a few giveaways. Christian had one. No one was really amused. Did I say amused? Immune. No one was immune. Those drop points were, that was a team effort. Positives, I mean, it was good to, I said, my guest hit on Lacuna Galaxiana, that Jesus Ferreira was my pick for like an X factor, and really just mainly someone that I wanted to see him get a goal, I said, as a reward for how well he played in Leagues Cup, and really just to even out how snake bit he's been this year. And he did do that, and Noah doesn't have to get a tattoo. Schmetzer noted it after the game. That's 5 goals, 10 assists, all comps. That's great return on the trade, on the stat sheet, but you want to see him get more goals. So it was good to see him get a goal. Schmetzer said he wanted more from him in the game, which I agree with that. Like, it was nice that he got the goal, but like in a situation where you're fighting for it in the second half and you're trying to get that third goal to dust the game away, that's a situation where you'd hope, not to single anyone out, but like the Ferreira, you need him to step up in those types of situations. But, irrespective of that, him kind of getting that monkey off his back and getting that first goal in a while, that was good to see. Moose had a goal and an assist in this game. So he's got 16 goals, all comps. The drive for 20 is alive. So that was good to see. And I thought the offense in general wasn't incredible, but it was more than sufficient performance offensively to win this game. Like, that's not the reason that they lost the game. To me, the issue here is what we saw defensively for a lot of the night, defensively and in possession, but also particularly on that last sequence, that was just not a good goal. All right, we got Disc Golfer in the queue. We're going to bring him onto the stage right now. Disc Golfer, what's up, man? Haven't talked in a while. How you doing? How you feeling after a 2-2 87th minute equalizer versus the LA Galaxy?
Man, I'm not feeling terrible. Like, didn't go the way I wanted, but I feel like it could have been a lot worse. I was thinking about this just now. I ran out after the game to pick up dinner, and I was thinking about that game after the 2022 Champions Cup. I think it was against FC Dallas when they got shellacked.
Yeah.
Just like you could tell the team just wasn't focused. And obviously I'm only here to talk about XG from this most recent game. I know you love your XG stats.
Did you see what it was? What did Seattle have?
I didn't actually look. No, I don't know. It seems like
keep cooking and I'm going to look it up.
All right. Yeah, man. I think I would have liked a better result LA Galaxy is not a good team.
No.
It was not a perfect. It wasn't a great result. Let's be perfectly honest. But I do think
it was an actively bad result.
It was an actively bad result. Yes, I would agree with that. The first goal, still not sure about that call. But I mean, at the end of the day, the difference between a draw and a win should not be based off one call against a team like the LA Galaxy.
Exactly.
But I'm not crashing out too hard. I mean, like I said, going back to that, they had so many chances. They didn't finish a lot of them. And it just, I think what makes this result go down easier for me is seeing Rusnak and Morris back on the field.
That is okay. I was coping with positives, and that's another one. They both got back on the field, and I thought looked roughly like their usual selves. They were working back into it, but I thought Rusnak had a couple of nice passes. Jordan had the header on target, so I think that is something that should provide a little bit of a boost. Even though they've been playing really well without those guys, it can only be a positive to have them back. The XG I'm seeing for Seattle is 3.4, which is, I mean,
yeah, okay,
that is
so
kind of even more tilting, but
it is in a way. But I mean, at the same time, they had chances they should have put away, and
way more than enough chances. Way more than enough.
Yeah, way more than enough. But they're getting those chances. It didn't look like the team wasn't up for it. I think they just again, it's not a good result. I will be the first to agree with that take, but it didn't look like they were in some sort of Leagues Cup hangover. I guess that was my fear going into the game, was that we were going to see something like that. And I think because I went into it with that sort of mindset, I'm not as tilted as maybe some other people. I went through
that would have been if they just came out super flat. The offense didn't look good. They looked like just totally like a shell of themselves from what we saw in Leagues Cup. That was not the case. Like, they got out there and they got the 2-0 lead in the first half, which is what you need. They couldn't get the third goal, and then let a team hang around, even a bad team, like, they will eventually make you pay a lot of the time. So what else were you thinking off this one, disc golfer?
Oh man, I just have to say, man, Rusnak's so good. Just some of the things he can do in tight spaces on the field. Like, I've been loving Jesus recently, but like, dude, when Rusnak's on there was one play, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was someone slid a ball into Rusnak, and he was running maybe from like 30 yards out, running at the top of the box, and he got it, took 2 touches and pushed it out to the left side. And it was just like, it was so clean. I love watching him play. He's so much fun to watch.
He's silky smooth. Yeah, I love watching him.
So smooth, dude. Morris looked good. He doesn't look hurt anymore, which is great. Maybe the shoulder injury gave some of the soft tissues some time to heal up completely.
That's what I was hoping too, because he had just kind of come back off the hamstring re-aggravation when he hurt the shoulder. And I was like, if there is any sort of theoretical silver lining, maybe you get even more rest for all that stuff and you have less risk of another re-aggravation.
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, the shoulder one was kind of a fluke. It happens, but it's not something that's like gonna re-aggravate itself. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I'm not stoked about the result, but I'm not too upset about it. I kind of was worried it was going to look worse, and it looked. Also, man, Christian Roldan, his coverage. There was a play where he had no business getting the ball back, and he just like took someone on and got it back. And I hope he makes it to the World Cup because he's so good.
He should absolutely be on the World Cup team. We all agree on that. The haters are going to not agree. How are you feeling before you head out? How are you feeling about the Miami game? Does this change how you're feeling about that at all? Or are you still pretty confident? They lost 3-0 tonight. They don't look good.
They did. And Messi missed a penalty. I haven't watched the highlights yet, but I did see that.
He tried to Panenka and he had it saved. It was hilarious.
Is that what it was? Okay, I was going to watch the highlights here soon. And that's
you got to watch the highlights.
I will that. I'm queuing that up with dinner. As far as the Miami game, I mean, I think this one's tough. I think after Leagues Cup, it's one of those things. It's a weird thing in sports, I feel like. And I played competitive disc golf, so it's not the same thing as like a real sport like soccer. But I feel like it's so hard for teams to beat the same team multiple times in the year. And so going up against Galaxy, who the Sounders have kind of just owned recently, and then Miami, who's probably pissed off about the the Leagues Cup. I was a bit worried about these two games. Wish they would have pulled it out tonight. That would have made me feel a little bit better. But no, I'm not too stressed about Miami. They're coming off the same amount of little rest, and they are actively looking for their AARP cards. So I'm more worried about how they're doing.
Like they got short rest.
I don't know if they do start him. I mean, the dude's ancient.
Yeah, like
all their players are.
A lot of their team is ancient, and it's short rest for them. And they're also their vibes are really bad right now.
Oh, it's bad. It's real bad.
Like I know everyone in Seattle's pretty tilted about how that game ended, and probably will be until that next game. But like they're in like turmoil. Like it's
100%.
It's not good.
And I mean, as disappointing as this result was going into Tuesday, I'd so much rather be the Sounders than Miami right now.
I mean,
no contest.
I would still rather be the Sounders than pretty much anybody, because they just won Leagues Cup in front of 70K. I don't want to lose sight of that. All right. Like, it was a bad result tonight, and there was areas of concern that they're good, that are real, and that could, derail the prospect of getting home field advantage. So that's all stuff that's going to have to be reckoned with. But this does not, I don't think this takes the shine off of what this team accomplished, but also the level that they've been playing at. They weren't able to replicate it in this game defensively, but I mean, I still think this team, when they're on and they're locked in, this attack is as good as any in MLS right now. And it just added Jordan Morrison, Albert Rusnak.
It's good, and it's fun to watch. The little 1-2s they have, the interchanges. It's so much fun to watch. Which, by the way, sorry, just short, like 30-second tangent.
No, honestly, you can cook as long as you. Well,
I might cook for a minute then. Yeah. I'm an MLS and Sounders sicko, like 100%. Like I think anyone watching this stream is. We all are. It's a good place to be. But I know a lot of people who are more casual MLS fans, and one of them is my coworker is a diehard kind of like almost Euro snob, Messi fan. And going into Leagues Cup, she wound up getting tickets, and she said, "I want the Sounders to win 3-1. I want Messi to score, and I want Sounders to score 3 goals." And I said I disagreed, but whatever. The point is, after Leagues Cup, she was going, "I was sitting there booing Messi. I had so much fun. That's the best soccer game I've ever been to." And ever since then, like, she keeps coming to me and being like, "Yo, did you hear this news about the Sounders?" And like, yes, I did, because I refresh Blue Sky constantly and I'm an absolute sicko. But like, it's so cool seeing some of these casuals after Leagues Cup become more hardcore fans.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And that would be that's what I'm hoping is one of like the biggest outcomes of that, is that there was a lot of people at that game that hadn't been to a Sounders game. A lot of people were there just to watch Messi, and there may be soccer fans that like aren't into MLS and were there to watch Messi, or just people that were just there for the spectacle. And some percentage of those people probably left there being like, "Wow, I need to get into this," because like, you're telling me that this team plays like every week, like, and I can be into it. Like, hopefully people actually take that away from that, and it expands the fan base. That would be best for everyone.
I hope so. I mean, obviously every week is not as cool as that was. I was at the game. I know you guys were at the game. I didn't watch your post-game show because I had to drive back north, but I listened to pretty much the whole recording of it, which was awesome at work. But it was very fun listening to Noah go off at work. Yeah, dude, that atmosphere was so sick. I still can't get over it. Like, even with tonight's disappointing result, I'm still just so high on the Sounders right now because it's been so good lately.
I think that's like when I wake up tomorrow, that's the place that I'll be into. It just when you have a game that ends like that, the immediate aftermath is always going to be like, ugh. But I think when the dust settles and that wears off, I'll be I don't think back to fully cloud nine, but
which is valid. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But I'll
because that tonight was disappointing. No ifs, ands, or buts. It was disappointing.
It was a bad ending, bad result. But I mean, I'd be a lot more concerned if I felt like there was a huge drop off offensively, which I don't think there was. Like, I think the chance generation and just overall how the attack played was relatively close to the level that they've been playing at since Club World Cup. It was on the other side of the ball where the issues were. But all right,
Yeah.
disc golfer.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime. Good catching up with you, and we'll talk to you on the next one.
For sure. Have a good night. Peace.
Take care. All right, guys. I don't have anyone else in the queue, so I'm gonna cut it a little short tonight. Like I said, double dutying in these situations is not easy when I don't have a co-host and have to run these solos and take care of my other stuff. So I'm gonna cut it right there. Sorry, I know we usually go like an hour and a half, 2 hours on these, but I got to lock in on my other stuff. But thank you all for tuning in to another post game live. 2-2 draw, 87th minute equalizer. Not ideal, but they get right back at it on Tuesday. Nico and I are going to be doing Lobbing Scorchers kickoff on Monday. We'll be talking about this game even more and previewing that Miami game a little more. So don't miss that. What else? Like the video, sub to the channel, rate 5 stars, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And I'll see you guys bright and early Monday morning for kickoff with Nico. Peace.
Some people come to Lumen Field for the tactics, for the soccer, the atmosphere. And some come for Paul Rothrock's hair. Me personally, I come for both, because I have agendas to push. Live soccer isn't just better, it's way more personal. From making friends to becoming the guy in your section that's just constantly yelling about advanced statistics. Get tickets to any Sounders match by visiting lobbingscorchers.com/tickets. You support the pod, our agendas, the vibes, and the chaos.